even worse for AIPAC and the Israel First Lobby, is that even candidates that they support, candidates that they back, that they spend money on, when some of those candidates are winning and they're going to Congress and then voting against the Israelis. Maxine Dexter was supported by AIPAC. She won her seat with the support of AIPAC. She got to Congress and ended up comparing the genocide that took place in Gaza to the Holocaust. She ended up putting her name to Rashida Tlaib's bill that called for a recognition of the genocide in Gaza. She ended up voting against the Israelis and then went to interviews to tell people that AIPAC is toxic. I wish I'd never taken that money. That money is toxic. Imagine you're AIPAC and the Israel First Lobby. You spend millions in order to deliver these candidates. They go to Congress. They read the room. They read the shift in public opinion. They see the change that's taking place on the ground. They see more and more Americans wake up to the reality of the relationship between US and Israel. They see the reality of the complicity in the genocide committed in Gaza and in Palestine and the apartheid regime. And they see the reality of just how much money is going to Israel to support them as opposed to going to ordinary Americans. That these candidates that AIPAC supports, when they get to Congress, they're flipping and they're voting against the Israelis. Chris Menefee. AIPAC celebrate his win. Here's the tweet. They celebrate that he won. And Chris goes to Congress and ends up voting for the Block the Bombs Act to stop bombs being delivered to Israel for Israel to use against Gaza. Imagine you're spending all this money on these primary races. And imagine that you're spending all this money in order to stem the criticism and the tide that's turning against the relationship between the US and Israel and those who are calling for a change or a re-alteration of that relationship to one that is more balanced. Imagine you spend millions trying to silence these people and you topple congressmen, but the more you seem to spend, the more America seems to turn away from you.